the end of the day, they buy very conservative, usually Republican congressmen and senators, do they not, to enact these laws?
They use their philanthropic resources, as Jane Mayer pointed out in Dark Money. They figure out how to weaponize philanthropy to advance a very narrow agenda, and they give their money to PACs and political campaigns, and they overall have an enormous influence on democratic institutions. So they were able to almost abolish the estate tax. It was hanging by a thread, and the fact that it's still there, it's been considerably weakened as a tax. So the amount of money it raises, the impact it has on concentrated wealth is greatly diminished.
Well, but as you point out, the casino magnate Sheldon Adelson has donated more than $100 million in campaign donations in this election, less than a week away, the midterms. He's apparently number 15 on the Forbes 100 list, and he's used a complicated trust mechanism to pass $7.9 billion to his children while avoiding $2.8 billion in gift and estate taxes. So whatever estate tax exists in terms of regime, it seems like these rich people like Adelson can get around it.
Yeah, former Treasury official Gary Cohn implied that this was one of the estate tax only his quote was only morons pay the estate tax. And what he was revealing with that was that very wealthy people have figured out how to plan around it. They create these very complicated trusts, and they figure out how to move money around it. So this is how today's billionaires are going to be tomorrow's wealth dynasties. The Adelson family. Some of these families, the Adelsons figured out how to pass almost $8 billion and avoiding almost $2.3 billion in gift and estate taxes. So moving money to the next generation without paying any taxes and circumventing the rules that are there. And I think we're just going to see more of that. So I think we're going to see these dynasties growing over time as opposed to dispersing.
But how do they get away with, I understand using, as you stress, and feeding the propaganda of death tax to these conservative Republican candidates and officials, but then their job in turn is to pass very unpopular legislation, which is aimed at cutting popular programs like Social Security, Medicare, etc. So that's the amazing part of it, is that these billionaire families are able to advance unpopular, inequality, exacerbating, highly conservative economic policies. So what does it say about the rest of us? Are we simply not paying attention?
Well, I think that it is. I think most people don't fully understand these dynamics at the very, very high, sort of billionaire level of society, and experience society more as, government can't get anything done that really matters to me. And it's not just passing conservative legislation, it's really blocking anything else. So even though the wider public would like to see the minimum wage higher, they believe that the tax code should be considerably fair and that the wealthy should pay more. They believe we should have, low tuition or free tuition at higher education institutions, paid for by a progressive tax. Even though people want those things, they're essentially blocked by a political system dominated by wealth. And so I think people are feeling cynical, feeling powerless, but at the same time, we should remind ourselves there's overwhelming popular support for the kinds of things that would reduce these inequalities, and it's really a matter of electing people who are campaigning on those kind of programs, supporting campaigns. There was an effort in California to bring back California's state estate tax and link the money to a college for all. It didn't get the necessary number of signatures to go on the ballot, but that campaign, that movement is still there, and I think we'll see it again. So those are the kind of things that I think could turn this around and could lead to the reversal of these inequalities.
When you mentioned Gary Cohn, who said that anybody who pays estate taxes is a moron, the last thing he got through was that huge tax cuts for the super rich, this so-called middle-class tax cut that the Republicans passed and that Donald Trump claimed was for the middle class. Now, of course, he's come out with a new one saying we have a new tax cut for the middle class, almost a de facto recognition of the fraud of the original tax cut that they passed a little while back. And we now know how catastrophic that's going to be. Already Janet Yellen, the former head of the Fed, is saying the deficits are unsustainable. We will have trillion-dollar deficits now for at least the next 4 years because of this giveaway to the super rich under Trump. And guess what they're doing? Already Mitch McConnell is saying we're going to have to cut Social Security. So that's their strategy. You give enormous tax cuts to the super wealthy who don't need it. That balloons the deficits because you're not getting the revenues that you normally should be getting. And then that gives you an excuse to cut the so-called entitlement programs for the middle class and the poor. I mean, again, this is just so reactionary and so punitive and so outrageous. This is something you'd expect in the Middle Ages under a feudal system.
Yeah, no, I think, in a way, the so-called starve the beast strategy, we're seeing it laid out here. And you're going to have, government spending is rising. Well, actually, government spending hasn't been rising. It hasn't been rising anywhere near as much as deficits caused by tax cuts. But that's going to be the story we hear. What's fascinating is just how few people are falling for it. People overwhelmingly, I mean, most people support tax cuts generally. It's just sort of a reflexive thing. It's like, sure, a tax cut, that sounds great. People didn't support these Trump tax cuts back a year ago. They understood that they were mostly going to a couple, 100 global corporations and the very rich. They're not good talking points on the campaign trail. They've just started to stop talking about the tax cuts because most people are like, hey, those were for the rich. So they're back to the anti-immigration, talking points. And this, I don't think people are going to fall for the, we need to now cut entitlements because our deficits are so big. There is going to be growing pressure to reverse the Trump tax cuts. That should be the demand, that they're a disastrous mistake, and they should be reversed. And I think there's mounting pressure and awareness that that's what we have to do.
Well, we should call them Trump and Gary Cohen tax cuts because Trump, I don't think, knows what he's doing. He doesn't care. He's a total sociopath and a narcissist. But Gary Cohen came across as the reasonable. Remember, he was the guy that was upset over Trump's coddling the Nazis at Charlottesville. So just in closing, what makes those kind of people tick? We know Trump's a disaster, but Cohen was basically considered one of the adults on the road.
Yeah. Well, they have a theory of how the economy is going to grow and how tax cuts are part of that. And there's also just plain old donor payback. I mean, the Sheldon Adelsons of the world said, I'm never going to give any money to Republicans again if you can't get this tax cut passed. And other major donors, that is their top priority. They want to pay less taxes. They want to build these wealth dynasties. They want to pass on unlimited inheritances to their children and grandchildren. They want the power that goes along with that, and they're using their power. And that tax cut from a year ago was really the payback. And but it's fundamentally anti-democratic. It fundamentally undermines, our voices, everybody else's voices in the economy, and it's time to obviously push back.
Right, and every rich kid that I've ever met in my life, Chuck, has been screwed up. So these are the ones that are inheriting the earth.